Desert, Arizona Territory, 1886 sunset. They say some men ride the rails for gold. Others ride M for escape. Me, I rode it for revenge. Never thought I'd end up the only one left to tell it. A steam train howls across the copper desert. The sky burns orange and purple, the earth cracked and dry as bone. Long, skeletal cacti sway gently in the wind. Dust rises like smoke behind the train. Train caboose, moving sunset. Clothes on a pair of worn boots, propped on a pine crate. A battered Stetson shades a man's face. This is Luke Thorne, 38. Sun-leathered skin, week-old beard, eyes pale and cold. He lifts his head as the train whistles. Name's Luke Thorne. Folks used to call me Ghost Rider. Not 'cause I was fast, but 'cause trouble always followed. I joined the Barnes gang to settle a score, and I thought a train job'd be clean, quick. Flashback, Saloon, Snake Gulch night. Warm lantern light flickers. Men play poker, whiskey pours. Piano plays off tune. Smoke curls in the air. Luke sits alone at the far end of the saloon, sipping rotgut, jaw tight. Across from him, Clayton Barnes, 45, all gold rings, snake eyes, and a velvet voice. He leans into the table of outlaws. Clayton, Union Pacific, westbound, carrying gold bars for Fort Sumner. Friday night, Dead Man's Bend. One guard car, one engineer. That's it. Easy pickings. We ride at dawn. The men toast. Luke watches silently, lips pressed to his glass. I shoulda walked. Hell, I shoulda rode straight for Mexico. But the man who slit my brother's throat in a poker room, that man was Clayton Barnes. And I aimed to be there when his luck ran dry. Open desert night. A dark line of 6 riders gallop across the wide basin, hooves pounding soft sand. Wind whips their coats. Thunder growls above. The plan was simple. Stop the train. Grab the gold. No survivors. I didn't like it, but vengeance ain't got manners. Luke rides behind the others. He glances at the clouds. Lightning flickers. Dead Man's Bend. Train tracks night. The gang sets up just past a tight canyon curve. Brush is cleared. Dynamite is strapped to a tie under the track. The silver line hums in the distance. The train is near. Luke crouches beside the others, holding a match. He turns his head to the wind. Luke, wait. Clayton impatient. What now? Luke, something don't feel right. Clayton, it never does. Light it. Luke hesitates, then strikes the match. Boom. The track explodes in a violent flash. Steel twists. The train screeches as it derails, groaning like a dying beast. Sparks burst across the desert. Train, cargo car night. The car tilts. Wood splits. Gold bars spill from busted crates. Screams ring out. Blood and fire everywhere. Luke rolls, dazed, blood on his brow. He staggers to his feet just as gunshots echo. 3 men drop fast. Luke dives behind a twisted wheel. Ridge above night. On the ridge, a lone shadowed figure stands tall with a lever-action Winchester. Each shot is precise, brutal, silent. It wasn't the law. It wasn't another gang. Someone else had been waiting. Someone who wanted us dead. Train wreck night. Luke crawls through burning wreckage. He pulls his revolver, eyes scanning. Crack. Another gang member drops. Luke looks up through the smoke. A pair of eyes meet his. Takoya 30s. A native warrior in wolf hide, face painted in ash and blood. A quiet fury simmers in him. He lowers the rifle. Luke aims, but doesn't shoot. He blinks. Takoya vanishes like smoke. Train wreck. Later that night. The storm has passed. A ghostly calm settles over the carnage. Cinders still burn. Luke limps through the wreckage, revolver still in hand. He kicks aside a busted lantern. Something glints. He turns. Clayton's body lies twisted under a beam, his gold rings catching firelight. A Bowie knife sticks from his ribs. Luke kneels beside him. I finally got what I came for. But vengeance, it's a bitter thing. Like Chaewin Ash. He'd already been judged by someone else's hand. Luke stares at the knife. It's native carved. A quiet step behind him. He spins, sees Takoya standing still, rifle lowered. Takoya, you ride alone now. Luke says nothing. He drops the revolver. His shoulders fall. He sits in the wreckage. Exhausted. Broken. Thunder rumbles again. Far off. Soft rays of sun filter through a narrow canyon slit, warming the rough stone walls. Luke stirs on a bed of furs, groaning as he sits up. His shoulder is wrapped in leather strips and sage. Smoke from a small fire curls into the ceiling. Across the fire, Takoya sharpens a flint blade with methodical grace. His wolf-hide cloak rests nearby. He doesn't look up. Luke. Gravelly. Why'd you save me? Takoya. Still sharpening. You weren't ready to die. Narrator VO. He spoke, like thunder, over distant plains. Said little. Meant much. Luke glances down at the wrapped wound on his side. He flexes his fingers, testing strength. The fire crackles. Montage. Traveling the desert. Luke and Takoya hike across sun-scorched sand, silhouettes long beneath the blazing sun. They shoot a rattlesnake. Takoya skins it. Luke gags. Takoya shows Luke how to tap cactus for water. Lightning splits the sky. A flash flood rips through the lowlands. They scramble up slick stone. Luke offers Takoya his canteen. Takoya accepts with a small nod. Luke speaks stories around a small fire. Takoya listens, mostly silent. Day by day he let me in, not with words, but with silence that didn't sting. Still, the ghosts we rode with, mine and his, they whispered louder the farther we went. EXT, abandoned mining town, dusk. The wind howls through empty streets. Boarded windows rattle. Rusted tools lie forgotten. Luke and Takoya ride into the ghost town. Luke dismounts, wiping dust from a wanted poster nailed to a post. It shows his own face, beside others from the Barnes gang. Reward, $500 dead or alive. Luke, smirking bitterly. Guess I made the papers. Takoya, and the price of peace climbs higher. That train job turned into a federal mess. Pinkertons on every road. They didn't want justice. They wanted bodies and headlines. Saloon ruins night. Shattered glass, dry rot, and an old piano with broken keys. The building leans slightly, but the walls hold. A fire burns in the old hearth. Luke sits beside it, arms on his knees, staring into the flames. Luke, I joined up with Barnes for one reason. Revenge. My brother, he was a gambler, sure. But he didn't deserve to die the way he did. Takoya, gazing into fire. No one does. Luke, I just wanted to look that bastard in the eye. Make him feel what I felt. Then, I did. Saw him dead. Knife in his gut. Takoya, did it help? Luke, shaking head. Not a damn bit. Takoya, then your journey isn't over. Luke glances at him. Surprised. He didn't judge me. Didn't tell me to forget. Just handed me silence, like a mirror. They eat dried meat in shared quiet. Prairie, next day. Wide, wind-blown grassland. Smoke billows in the distance. They ride past a burning ranch, the home still smoldering. A widow kneels in the ash, weeping over the lifeless body of her son. Buzzard circle. Luke pulls off his hat. Takoya, this land is bleeding. From gold, from greed. Luke, gritting teeth. Ain't just the land. The scars out here run deeper than tracks in the dirt. Some carved by bullets, others by paper and seal. Ridge, night. High above the valley, Luke and Takoya crouch in the sagebrush. Below, a Pinkerton encampment. Lanterns glow. A dozen tents. Campfires. Armed guards patrol. At the center, wagons filled with captives. Settlers, women, children. Even 2 former gang members are chained like animals. Luke peers through a spyglass. Luke. They're not prisoners. They're loot. Tekoya. The law was forged in gold. Not truth. Luke watches as a little girl clings to her mother. A guard shoves them. The law wasn't justice. Not out here. It was profit. And Pinkerton sold it by the pound. Luke lowers the spyglass. His jaw clenches. Luke, we have to do something. Tekoya. Then we ride. One last time. Ridge. Continuous. The firelight dances in Luke's eyes. He takes a deep breath. Luke, let's give the ghosts something to ride for. Tekoya. And let the land remember our names. They clasp hands, calloused, bloodstained, and stand as brothers born of loss. Not every outlaw wears a mask. Not every hero wears a badge. Sometimes the ones with nothing left are the only ones willing to burn it all down. Prairie, night before raid. The moon is high, silvering the prairie. Crickets hush. A dry wind dances over the grass, carrying whispers of what's to come. Luke kneels, laying bullets in a row beside a Colt peacemaker. He loads each one with care. Nearby, Tekoya wraps a fresh leather grip around his bow and sharpens 2 flint-tipped arrows. They sit in silence, a small fire between them. Redemption rides with fire, and it don't wait for sunup. Luke wraps a rag around his hand. Tekoya tightens his headband. Their eyes meet, no words left. Just grit. The stars above witness 2 men ready to burn down the past. EXT, Pinkerton Camp, Dawn. Heavy fog curls low over the ground. Fires smolder in barrels. Pinkerton guards patrol lazily. Then whoosh. A torch arcs into the air and lands in a wagon of dry hay. Flames erupt. Horses scream. Gunshots crack. Luke rides in like an apparition. All smoke and vengeance. His revolver barks like thunder. He dives through camp, shooting locks off cages, freeing men and women in chains. Tekoya appears and disappears like a spirit. From the shadows, arrows fly, each one finding its mark with eerie precision. We weren't soldiers, weren't saviors, but in that moment, we were everything the broken needed. EXT, center of camp, moments later. Luke skids to a stop in the dirt. Before him, Pinkerton Captain Hawthorne 50s. Thick mustache, long coat, shotgun aimed. Captain Hawthorne. You're a dead man, Thorne. Luke. Then I'll die on the right side. Boom. Luke fires first. The captain's chest jerks. He collapses in the dust, lifeless. There are moments a man chooses who he is, and others when the world decides for him. EXT, wagon line, dawn. Children and settlers rush to the freed wagons. One little girl, soot-smudged and barefoot, clutches Luke's coat. Girl, you came back. Luke blinks, overwhelmed. He drops to a knee. Luke, I promised, didn't I? She nods. He wipes a tear from her cheek. Narrator, VO. It wasn't the gold or the blood I remembered. It was her voice and the way she believed. Ridge, sunrise. The golden light spills over the land. Burnt wagons smolder behind them. Luke helps Tekoya, limping and bloodied, up onto a horse. He's been hit in the side. Luke, you all right? Tekoya, I ride. Always ride. They look over the survivors as they roll west, wounded but free. Tekoya, softly, your war is done. Luke, yours too. They clasp hands, brothers now, forged by fire. Narrator, VO. Some ghosts don't haunt, some guide. And for the first time, I let go of mine. Town square, weeks later, day. The sky is clear. Luke stands on a wooden crate before a gathered crowd of ranchers, widows, and wide-eyed children. He holds a battered wanted poster in one hand, trembles slightly. Luke, I was called outlaw, killer, ghost rider. But I ain't here to deny it. I'm here to tell you the truth, that sometimes men break because the world gives 'em no other shape to take. But truth can still grow in broken ground. A few in the crowd nod. A young boy lifts his hand. Luke smiles. Not every tale ends in glory. Some end in truth, and that's enough. Saloon, present-day Sunset. The same saloon from before. Years have passed. The piano is gone. The wood aged. Luke, now 60s, sits in the same chair. Hair grayer, wrinkles carved by time and sun. Across from him, a wide-eyed boy listens, chin resting in his hands. Luke, and that kid is how a train job gone wrong gave me a life worth living. The boy blinks, mouth hanging open. Boy, did you ever see Tequila again? Luke smiles softly. Luke, every time I ride under a red sky. He lifts a cup of coffee. Outside, the sun melts behind the hills. Redemption ain't a destination. It's a trail, and some trails are worth bleeding for. If this story lit a fire in your soul, if you felt Luke's journey echo in your own heart, hit that like button and share this tale with someone who believes in second chances. Because out here on the frontier, the past rides close behind, but hope rides beside you. Tell us in the comments, what would you do if revenge came easy, but peace was harder to earn? And don't forget to subscribe for more True Grit Frontier Legends, where every dust trail hides a story waiting to rise. We've got more tales of the broken, the brave, and the ones who dared to become more than what the world called them. Saddle up. We're just getting started. Sometimes the road to revenge leads you straight into the fire, but it's who you walk out with that defines the man you become. Because justice isn't always served with bullets, and peace don't come from gold. It comes from choosing mercy when you've got every reason not to, from standing up when silence is safer. In the end, redemption don't ride in loud. It rides in quiet, beside the broken and those brave enough to be whole again.